Oh boy, we're getting ready for a round 3 matchup. I am back. I have kicked Matsy off. I've eaten my chicken. Gex, you're still with me as we're making a trip to Atlas's lab for a team I am really excited to see. Really, I'm excited to see both of them, but ZINNIAAA's Amulet, you take 3 Zs, you take Kruha, you smash them together, and you get a super team that I'm excited to watch play.
Yeah, Nazar Amulet should be absolutely awesome. And leftovers are not to be sneezed at either. Their opponents here, deenos, rixy and Torrchi. Rixy has been absolutely unbelievable as well. But yeah, I think Nazar Amulet, they might just have this one here. It's going to be a very good showing out of them, and they have all been such star players in the past.
Yeah, I mean, when I'm looking at all the lineups that are playing today, don't get me wrong, there are some very good teams that can make some deeper runs, especially, you know, if they get luckier matchups through this first stage. I'm a little bit surprised that I did see a team like, you know, the Goober Hunters actually drop down early into that lower side of the Swiss. But this could be our grand final preview, and we're getting it a little bit early here in round number 3. So this will be a fun one. The leftovers will be in blue. ZINNIAAA's Amulet is going to be on the red side as the comps come in. And the big thing I'm looking out for, again, when I think of, in particular, this leftover team, that Torrchi Rixy combo, they are so violent at striding forward.
The Z does disappear from Aralia. We are back to just Aralia here.
Well,
and
not 3
we will
Zs
see.
anymore.
Exactly, but we have to see if the Z was what brought the skill, you know? I feel like it's probably going to carry through.
Yeah, and I think, like, it's definitely going to be a strong sign. I mean, look, Xena and Aralia as a duo also are such strong forwards, but Torrchi, again, already showing off, you know, how strong they are on this Zentaro. Gets a big KO on Kruha. It will be interesting to see. The third set, you know, here this week has told the Twitch chat before they're currently overseas. I didn't figure out which country. The point was they're not here. So if you're going to have a sub come in, why not be the best goalkeeper in the region?
And ZINNIAAA is actually filling that role quite well right now, even down to a solo effort on field for a minute there. But Kruha does get back. It's not quite on target for that last little save there that was needed, and it is going to go across to the leftovers for the first point.
Yeah, leftovers off to a really good start. I think a big thing that we're going to be having to keep mindful of is Torrchi and whether or not they're going to be able to continue to level up at the rate that they were. We saw them get that early KO, and for the slower scaler of Zentaro, if you can get early KOs, that's always a good thing. Granted, Atlas's lab, I feel like, always plays for it just because of the threat of the black hole, shrinks the map, and it can sometimes allow for easier access, but you can see already on this second point, this blue side off to the fast KO, but Gex, we haven't even got to the Awakenings yet. I think that's worth mentioning. Four twin drives on everyone except for Torrchi and Aralia, who has opted for a Catalyst instead.
It's going to be interesting to see how those stack up when you get so many on field. It's just about using them correctly, isn't it? So they are going to get put to use here very quickly. Kruha on the back line is putting his skills to use in defense. Aralia now taking a lot of damage, looking to try and not to be KO'd here, just barely staying alive through all of this.
What I find interesting is all the twin drives that are taken are all kind of like abilities. You got like the 2 body slams that are going to be now essentially, twice as many body slams on the 2 Dubus. ZINNIAAA's going to be able to go invisible more often. We're going to see more teleports out of Rixy. We did see that body slam from deenos kind of get the KO right there. Good little tofu wall. Stops Torrchi. Just spray and pray, kind of disrupting it. Sorry, the lock and load. Too much League of Legends. Kind of disrupting it for the time being as Rixy passes it back to themselves but won't find the shot.
Aralia nearly takes it. Good defense coming out from the leftovers right now. And Nazar's Amulet is going to get a chance here, 3v2 finally, as they get a KO on field. Aralia still taking hits. ZINNIAAA nearly finds it. Aralia can't get involved in the play. The pass up to ZINNIAAA. It's not enough. Oh my goodness, even brought out that right click, and it's not enough to get it through.
The lock and load, not quite there. Another body slam on the line, and we're seeing that twin drive from deenos come into play. Like, ZINNIAAA is one of the best Ricars, but it doesn't matter when Aralia will find the shot underneath. That's going to be a tying goal.
Yeah, with a perfectly timed core flip, Aralia sends it home with power. It's going to be a tied up set here. But it is not going to remain that way for long. First barrier down, and it will be on the side of Nazar Amulet.
You know what? I'm going to say it right now. I'm actually going to predict the upset in this one. Despite Aralia getting that early KO, I'm still going to kind of take Leftovers to win this for no other reason behind the fact that, as there's a KO back the other way, it's instead of making Kruha go Zruha, they let Aralia go back to Aralia instead of Aralia. They could have kept the 3Z's moniker. It's easy enough. I think Druha would have fit in this team, but not Kruha. I don't know. That's just my take.
Yeah, I see it. I mean, as I said earlier, I predicted there may be the chance there that the lacking Zed might remove a little bit of the power out of this team, but it's also bringing in a second one that never had the Zed in the first place. Kruha is working well though right this second, and the defense holds. This is scattered and scrambling defense at best.
Yeah, it is, but that's something that Kruha always seems to do, and yet you always can find ways to make those saves. As we can see Kruha again on that back line. Good use of the turret, tries to zone things away, but with the rollout, ZINNIAAA was able to hold that top side now. Trying to pass it straight down the middle. Aralia actually forced to go up with the play. ZINNIAAA has been staggered, but no one has any abilities to go for the KO, which means the core stays somewhat safe for the time being.
I think this comes very much down to the difference here being the meta, the KOs being so important right now, and you're seeing them more out of this side that is now up. Leftovers coming up big off of the damage. They're just outputting so much more right now.
At that same token, it was a rare unforced mistake from Kruha as well. The rollout just not timed where it needed to be, and don't get me wrong, it's a tough play to pull off, but I'm just so used to excellence from this goalkeeper. That was an awkward moment. It's almost a double KO for Torrchi.
ZINNIAAA still might go down, has to be careful here.
Goodbye.
Needs to pick up that ZINNIAAA gone as well. Kruha left on the line with nothing to be done. Set point going the way of Leftovers.
Leftovers looking clean, and again, like we see this every single time we watch this team play. Torrchi is one of the most aggressive strikers in this region, if not the most aggressive, and looking good in that first game. The Centaur's going to have first pick, a lot of good options. I'm kind of worried, do you go to that specialized training, Stagger Swagger or Quick Strike? And the answer is going to be the Stagger Swagger. I mean, you know you're going to get focused. Why not get some speed out of it?
Yeah, that is true. I mean, the focus should be there. Getting that speed out is going to be massively... I mean, it could be dominating. The amount that's already being done by Torrchi on field right now, this is just going to get amplified by that speed because Torrchi is focused, like you said, so often, has to be able to use it when low health.
Yeah, and I mean, both rixy and Torrchi actually kind of went more defensive items in that regards, because we saw peak performance as well coming from rixy, so, you know, a little bit of extra stagger on that side. They're expecting this game to stay brawly, and instead of doubling down on the damage, they go maybe the safer options, but I like it. It was something I noticed in the past too, and where teams would double down, go super hard for KOs, become glass cannon, sometimes with the glass cannon awakening, and it not work out in their favor. Well, this one doesn't work out, I guess, necessarily either in not Rixy, sorry, in Torrchi's favor, as they're the first one KO'd.
There was quite a fight for that first KO. It was going to be either Aralia or Torrchi there, and Torrchi did go down. Aralia might, in the end, yes, put out their opponent's goal as ZINNIAAA redirects upfield. It's rixy with a pass to Torrchi, blocked away by ZINNIAAA. Now, going back, that final barrier being an absolute safeguard here for this red side, but it might not hold yet. Up the other end, ZINNIAAA with a chance, and it's Kruha back to defend that barrier.
I have no idea how deenos was able to make the read on that play. It looked as if going invisible, ZINNIAAA was going to have that opening. Aralia now with that empowered special still can't get a KO. That's it. Torrchi does get staggered and could be in a fair bit of strife. Core gets close, not quite in. Aralia looking to run Torrchi down. Now it's going to look to run the core down. Rixy wins the 50, but ZINNIAAA's underneath. A good defensive pass. Nearly clears the space. Pressure from ZINNIAAA. Can't get the lock and load. This time does get it past the rollout, but doesn't get the dunk, and we go to the other side.
Kruha pushing up well into the midfield to close up some space there as well has been the right decision, but it has been brought back, and now ZINNIAAA and Kruha playing that 3v2 again here against them, and we have seen them be able to hold for that before. The respawn coming through now from Aralia has to be used well. Kruha with a crucial save.
I would have core flipped right there in panic. Kruha had it under control, but not the second time. Torrchi kind of helps rixy muscle it through, and that's going to be a 2-0 lead now in favor of the leftovers.
This is a big first point. It might not seem like a lot, but when you are put to the test like that, you have to come up on top, and they do. Leftovers looked to be losing that for quite some time there and did come out on top. Aralia now just trying to survive here as the damage comes out. Both barriers down. Aralia down too, though. Kruha will be forced back. They will lose one barrier. Maybe the second, no. Pushed away. Kruha still maintaining that defense. This is absolutely clutch.
Yeah, but then they miss a big moment right there. It looked like Torrchi got the stun last moment as we go to a little bit of a tofu palace. Now we get the core flip. Kruha not wanting to make that same mistake as before.
Yeah.
And with the help from the power
really
special, you would think it would be a goal, but deenos still comes through with the save.
The pass. ZINNIAAA tries to pass back down to Aralia. They take the black hole a second time. The pop nearly killing both Aralia and rixy there. The KO's available for both still. As one goes out, it's going to be an instant take. The goal going over to Nazar Amulet.
Yeah, but look how much they had to expend just to get it. Don't get me wrong, fantastic play by ZINNIAAA, but they had to use all of their abilities there. The lock and load, going invisible, and the core flip just to get the surprise launch for it. It was a much-needed goal, don't get me wrong, for this side, but Xena's Amulet, they're in a bit of trouble right now, even then, because they're still down in levels. They're going to be down a member as the power plays against them, and their goal is exposed. Torrchi looks for the dunk, not going to find it.
The core flip goes back the other way with low power, though. As rixy gets taken out of the play for a moment, it might be removed from field entirely if she's not careful. Low on health now. Aralia trying to get some more out, but actually getting stunned out themselves. Kruha doing brilliant work on the line yet again.
Woo. Goes crossbar out. ZINNIAAA now looking to kind of force it past Torrchi. Black hole appears, disappears, but leaves Aralia and rixy staggered. That means ZINNIAAA has some space to work with, but can't get it over the top. Now Core goes back to the lower side. Kruha waiting as that goalkeep gets it around rixy, but it still winds up right in Torrchi. Tofu wall misses. That leads to the goal, and it's set point for the leftovers.
I love Kruha's willingness to go forward as that more offensive defender there.
It's what Kruha does.
It is, but it's just not working out right this second. They are barely able to hold this offense. That is coming off of a team that is doing fairly well in getting the core upfield. I mean, usually they are the first to actually take a barrier, and it just seems to be meaningless, that stat.
Yeah, you know, I don't ever want to see Kruha not play aggressive. Because, like, they are the most fun goalkeeper in the region as a result. IMO, and when they start playing like that. But maybe we should have played Octavia again, okay? That's where I go back with this one as Aralia gets a clean KO.
Very, very clean there, and might not have too much of an effect. Core flip from deenos just going to hold control, trying to save time for the respawn. There's rixy back now. They will take one barrier, but that's a lot expended for the benefit of only evening up here.
That said, Kruha does have the core flip available and might find an avenue to use it. Yeah, with that turret, the pressure is still going to keep the side pinned down. Now we see the core flip, but it's immediately stuffed and turned nearly into a goal. Torrchi's shot saved on the line by Kruha, but that was a lot burnt from the team in red.
The reaction speeds out of Kruha might not be enough, though. 3v2 again, and Kruha makes an error on the line. It sneaks past, and another set goes over to leftovers. Looks like your prediction is looking pretty good for you, Max.
The Rixy Torrchi combo, I mean, they are timing their abilities in sync with each other so well that, like, yes, we're seeing pretty amazing saves, but it's just been too much for them to handle. And now you have a AI me with a primetime and a twin drive. Like, she's just going to be a walking turret herself, let alone the turret she's going to be able to drop. The amount of damage, the amount of abilities that are just going to be thrown right now from this blue side. If we thought it was dangerous before, it's going to be doubly so.
Both orb bonuses going over to the Dubus as expected, and we will be seeing, yeah, like you said, just so much power coming out of Rixy right now. I think realistically that still it maintains my statement from before. The amount of damage on field, the KOs coming out, has been the difference maker, and the amount of KOs has been benefiting this leftover side greatly. Kruha now has to get back in time to defend that barrier.
Well, it's like I kind of said, but in the past, like the Rixy and Torrchi coming into this one, I think they are the most aggressive forward. Maybe a little too aggressive as Torrchi jumps right past the core and allows it to roll on by. Aralia finally gets one in.
This is beautiful stuff from Nazar Amulet, though. I mean, just pushing aggression while on the back foot, and suddenly they might have a road back in. They are 2 sets down, but a point up now in the third.
Yeah, that was a great call. I'm sorry, I just had a moment where my brain realized what has happened in its past and is now I traumatized myself, Gex. You know those moments where you remember something that you did when you were in grade 4 and you just cringe?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we had one of those moments there. Either way, here we go. Already a KO, forcing the power play, favoring the leftovers, but ZINNIAAA doing so much work on that opposite end. However, the black hole is going to be working against them. Aralia is back, but will it be enough for the save? Kruha has the core flip and has to use it. Pass up, and ZINNIAAA clears the map.
Kruha consistently misusing that roller out there, trying to get the defense forward, and just misplacing it by millimeters time and time again has allowed the core back into their own half. And big stuns on Torrchi there, who is out of health. Has to be a kill there, surely.
The timing of that was hilarious because it was right as ZINNIAAA was passing it down to Aralia, and Aralia was like, forget the core, I want to go for the KO. And unfortunately didn't get it. And now Torrchi shot! Are you kidding me? A double doinks both posts and goes in.
You don't see that often, post to in. And it will come out this time to get leftovers back to even in the third set. They were looking to equal our biggest scoreline today of that 9-0 in points, and it's not going to be the case. However, they do have it back.
And now they get the KO, and that's what they really needed. I mean, you have to KO. If you're going for the KO on Torrchi, Gex, you have to get it because of that stagger swagger. Otherwise, they just become this blaze, this blitz of just sword and fury right now. And that's kind of why that last goal kind of wound up scored against them. And keep your eyes on the stagger of Torrchi as it gets lower, and as that speed rises, they're going to get more and more aggressive. It's been fun to watch.
Dubu now sitting on that core will get it away. And again, that final barrier holding on both sides, but it is being pushed by the leftovers right now. ZINNIAAA gonna grab control, pushing it forward to Aralia. This is fantastic stuff from Nazar Amulet, but they can't get the goal off the bat. And now, down a player, this is crucial that they hold this final barrier.
It's like the inverse of that one scene from Star Wars A New Hope. The walls were just opening way too slowly for Aralia. Couldn't quite get it in. That said, this time in what looked to be a 1v3, Aralia just found the gap and was able to force it through. So set point in favor of, the Amulet side. Hey, the reverse sweep still's on the cards.
Oh, great shot upfield coming out from Aralia there, I believe. ZINNIAAA now down that lower half is going to get absolutely erased. The amount of instant damage just about erasing him from field instantly. Aralia might be as well. It's a 2v1 now. So many KOs on field. It's chaos.
Yeah, Rixy had to use the core flip to get that KO, and they will get one barrier for it, but as long as that second barrier stands, I'm not sure it would be entirely worth it right now. A bit unfortunate for the leftovers that they don't find it. Granted, deenos still has the core flip available on their end. Probably will be saving it until their barrier goes down. The turret doing work. Kruha has been staggered, so has been Aralia, and this is turning into a disaster right now for the Amulet side. It's ZINNIAAA versus the world.
You can see it coming there. ZINNIAAA still holding off the 3v1 here. The power of Jakar coming through.
Wow.
Brilliant defense from ZINNIAAA, but it does only hold to the point that he gets the team back. But there's a KO on the other side. The chance is there. They need the barrier open. There it is. Kruha and ZINNIAAA now backing this up. They will take it. ZINNIAAA just about carrying the point through. But is it too little too late? They finally find a set.
Oh, ZINNIAAA coming up big right there on Jakar. Survives the 1v3, turns it around, gets the goal, and their reward, 4th pick. They don't even get first pick because Kruha is just such a greedy goblin that, apparently they have to choose first anyways.
And he's going to pick stacks on stacks there as well, really trying to get into the game. But I think that's more of a preventative pick.
Yes, well, You know, on any other goal keep, I would say, yeah, that sounds about right.
True.
But Kruha likes to run up and down the pitch, so I'm actually okay with it. Not to mention the fact, hey, you have 2 barriers to defend. Why not get a bit more speed for it? So, no, I think that's a good pickup for Kruha right now. I think the other ability, though, that we need to take note of, built different on this Rixy,
how does that
who
get
already
through?
has more abilities than anything else. How did that happen? Core already finds 2.
I don't think that anybody was expecting the core to make its way through the tofu wall there. Kruha is defending on the line, but that was disaster from the beginning.
Yeah, that's when you just go GG, go next. But yeah, Rixy, going to be scary to look out for with that build different, is going to be hitting quite hard. Also, Torrchi, glass cannon plus the 1-2 punch. I mean, this combination is going to make them incredibly scary to look out for. I mean, like they're already getting the feet, like the speed from the stagger swagger. These 2 forwards are going to be so dangerous and deadly, and I mean, Aralia is already feeling it.
The double KO came out as that final shot went in for the last point as well, so you know that that damage is high now. We are seeing some big stuff. Oh, the lack there of bounce, the luck benefiting leftovers. Nazar Amulet could have really used that barrier to go down. Kruha did so well and put so much effort into taking it, only to be denied by the corner itself. Great shot there from ZINNIAAA, denied again. The pressure is on for that barrier, but it's not enough to keep them away, and a KO might just hamper them further.
deenos is so fast as well. I mean, you've got the 10 stacks of the Orb Dancer right now kind of rolling for him, and you can see deenos. Look how fast he goes when he picks up the orb. What is this?
Overtime now as the core starts to move a little faster. ZINNIAAA now around the corner as it comes back to Kruha. Double save, triple, make that 4. The core flip away past half field. It was a shot on target, but deenos up the other end will make the same kind of saves.
You know how League of Legends has like the animations for when you like change when you go a certain speed? Dubu needs to start rolling when you start going at a certain speed. I mean, yeah, it would kind of throw people off because of the rollout ability, but still, he should have been rolling around the pitch just like Aralia tries to roll the core in. Is going to get it on the second attempt, and we're tied 1-1.
They needed that right there as well, because Rixy coming back in, Aralia on lowish health. I think there would have been an almost instant KO there to send things back in favor of leftovers, so the timing crucial on that goal.
We'll see how much more this Amulet side can bring. 2 KOs on the top of the map. Rixy versus ZINNIAAA should be a fun matchup. The turret does force the evasiveness out of ZINNIAAA, and the core will be slowly moving back towards that other side. It was a good little catch from Rixy as the third members do respawn. ZINNIAAA sees that core get GM'd up top, but an awkward bounce sees both barriers fall, and now it's going to be a chance for this blue side to take the lead. What do the leftovers have?
Kruha, the pass down to ZINNIAAA, doesn't get a lot of speed out of it, can't get it past Rixy at this point, let alone deenos. Finally, they get it up, and again, they find the same bounce, denying them of the barrier falling. There it is, finally they do get it out. Pass up to Aralia. ZINNIAAA tried to make themselves available for the pass while invisible, wasn't able to reach the target. Torrchi now will get taken away by ZINNIAAA. The black hole falls, and in the midfield, the core will be fought time and time again.
Torrchi is such a smart player. Just like the field, the pitch awareness, the wherewithal has been so good, but that corner shot was even better. Kruha getting on the scoreboard finally, and there is your Dubu goalkeep getting a point in.
They only need one more point here, and we start discussing the reverse sweep in this match.
I'm ready to start discussing it now. I mean, but especially if deenos is making mistakes like that, the rollout swings and misses. Aralia has been staggered, yet still is able to fight their way to the orb as the KO goes the other way. Aralia trying to muscle it in, but without the lock and load, ZINNIAAA couldn't follow it up.
Kruha comes up past half field for a KO that might just give them a chance into this, but the respawn comes back in time. It's double stuns onto ZINNIAAA there. Does stay in the match and pushes upfield, but more damage yet again on Aralia. Will actually take their opponent's orb there. Aralia taking damage still, has to be KO'd out here. There it goes. ZINNIAAA now gonna have to take a brunt of the damage as Kruha fills in the defense once
We
again.
said this was going to be a grand final preview, and I think we're starting to see why as this one continues along. Goal could be exposed right now for the Amulet team, but they keep getting KO'd by Torrchi and Rixy as deenos tries to get it forward. Torchi's follow-up touch, not powerful enough. The core flip was delayed, and in the end, Kruha had to play it defensively. Rixy up to Torrchi, who tries to go for the stuff, but the rollout will break it up. But that's in the roll forward. The body slam, not what he needed, and we're tied 2 apiece now, match point.
Great defense from Kruha time and time again, but it only takes one moment for it to lax up, and suddenly 2-2. This is deadly stuff for Nazar Amulet here. They are match point against them. They need this here. They will find one barrier early, and they have avoided the same kind of damage we've seen earlier. That's both barriers now, and all 3 players remain up. Aralia might not for much longer, though.
Has core flip.
Has
core flip, going to use it. Shot taken, and that is how Nazar's Amulet stays alive.
Aralia, I cannot believe, not only manages to stay on field, but uses that, gets the focus onto the core, and just takes the shot perfectly.
And we know round 4 was supposed to be starting in like 2 minutes, Gex, but this series, it's too good to end in really in 4. We got to go to 5. We got to look at that reverse sweep right now. These 2 teams, toe for toe. Orb Replicator gonna be taken by Kruha. Remember before how we were seeing, all right, Kruha has already gained that cooldown reduction? Well, now it's going to be spreading into the rest of the team as well. The Orbit build might be paying off for this red side. Kruha, once again, doesn't matter what team he's on, can find himself with an MVP performance.
Love that super surge on the Drakar as well. ZINNIAAA has been spending so much time invisible that's going to really, really help here, I think. Now, ZINNIAAA uses it again, trying to get forward. Kruha pushing up well past midfield again. This is some fantastic stuff. Sets up the barrier, controls the field, and moves into the position that it could get out from.
Yeah, but what's interesting right now is when you kind of look at the builds, I feel like Rixy, as well as Torrchi, actually, they want the game to be a bit more spread out. They want to play a much wider game, whereas you'll notice how intimate everything becomes whenever we get to see the Amulet side on the attack. They don't mind getting squishy. They don't mind getting chaotic. So we're going to be seeing 2 styles actually kind of counteract with each other right here. And I'm curious to see which one will pay off. I do feel like the wider style might make it easier for deenos to have a good performance on the goal keep, but that's if he's allowed, because Aralia and ZINNIAAA, like, they just get so squishy and tight, and then they combo together so well to get these KOs, and now deenos is the one in trouble. Tofu Pyramid up top.
That is a Tofu tomb once again. It just gets locked away and goes completely dead. Nobody had access to that, and there was no escape found for the core. There was no escape for that either. The barrier does fall for leftovers. Do they drop the first point here? It could be deadly to the mental if they do.
I love the Tofu tomb. Great call, great shot, great goal. Aralia does it again. 1-0 now in the reverse sweep. 2 goals away from coming true. How does Kruha keep getting away with it? How is Kruha? It doesn't matter what team you put him on, he'll find ways to win.
He's had to start being halfway to an attacker for it to happen, but he's got the confidence up right now, and it's working well. ZINNIAAA, though, we've seen even using that Drakar defensively so well, even a 1v3 situation earlier, and so I think the faith is there from Kruha that it's covered.
What? Oh my gosh, deenos with the miss on the rollout, and yet somehow the barrier stayed standing. Unfortunately, that second wall, not quite what it needed to be. 3v2 power play could be good for ZINNIAAA and Aralia, but first they've got to get that core station on the other side.
Oh my goodness, the damage!
Oh, Torrchi already staggered, has to get the orb before turning it around, looking for something, but accidentally knocks it the wrong way.
Kruha now, lower, puts out the roller. The core flip cancelled out, send up the other way. Aralia almost redirects as well. A brilliant play cancelled out by deenos, just holding the line there. Good positioning will save them from a fantastic play.
As we can see again, when things get squishy, good things happen for the Amulet right now. ZINNIAAA keeping things really squishy. Rixy has to be careful here, quite low, and Aralia aware of it, looking for an opening for the KO, and have to think it could find it here.
There it is.
Shot and gone.
Torrchi low as well.
Power play now favoring the team in red.
We'll get it forward. ZINNIAAA has to get it past Torrchi. Does. Aralia now usable on field. Torrchi gonna block it away. This is intense.
Oh, that rollout was almost perfect from Kruha right there. Well timed, but trying to
there it
see
is.
through, but it's another mistake from deenos.
Oh!
Aralia's shot saved on the line, but here comes Kruha moving forward with the tofu wall. That helps ZINNIAAA put it in, and it's match point for the Amulet side.
This is unbelievable. The reverse sweep 1 point away. Nazar Amulet coming up absolutely clutch when they needed it the most. ZINNIAAA hasn't been the major striker here. I'd say Aralia has been taking the better shots. However, everybody on this team has been used to their full potential. ZINNIAAA included, and does get awarded one there. Might need to be again. It's an early lead on the field here from Leftovers.
That said, core flip available on Kruha, but it's going to be matched by multiple members on the opposing side, and I don't mind Kruha saving it for another goal. It was a disastrous start for Nazar's Amulet, and as a result, go to the next point. You've still got 2 more chances to complete the sweep.
Now, very, very tense stuff as this goes forward, trying to get to series point here of the goal. One for Leftovers would bring this down to a sudden death situation. ZINNIAAA pushes upfield. It's stuck in their opponent's half. Will be both barriers. This could be deadly, especially with one down here. deenos is also near dead on the line. Kruha pushes it low, and the pressure comes back on. They need to use this while there's still a player down, though, and I don't think it's going to remain. Oh my goodness, it's go-throughs.
That's going to do it. The reverse sweep is complete, and it's going to be a victory for the Amulet team. We almost had a classic Kruha moment with that KO. The tofu wall KO onto the AI me, flipping it up to the top side ZINNIAAA shot. It was a good wall by deenos to keep it alive, but when it's said and done, look, there's only one Kruha, Gex. There's only one Kruha, and there's only one Triple Z squad. But when you smash them together, I guess you get a team that can pull off reverse sweeps. They're going to be 3-0 now in the Swiss stage. That will all but guarantee themselves to spot in the top 4. And the crazy thing right now, the Leftovers, as strong as this team is, they're now in a must-win situation.
Yeah, one of the most insane matchups I think I have seen, though. That was grand final worthy, and an unbelievable win there. Really, really big props to that team for being able to come up so massive. Leftovers looked dominant in the first half, and Nazar Amulet, a reverse sweep, absolutely huge. And they had me in such intensity that I did Gex things. I think whatever I said to end that one was not English, but look, that's what they brought out, and bringing that out of me is not easy.
60k damage, by the way, out of Aralia. 18 KOs out of this Juliet player. And I mean, they were struggling at the start. They were a couple levels down. They were getting bullied by Rixy and Torrchi. It felt like nonstop, but they turned it around. The Awakenings came through, and I still think the big difference was that Orb Replicator going on Kruha, giving that cooldown reduction. You saw how fast the chain crowd control was just hitting and pelting and destroying the Leftovers in the latter half of that game. Fantastic stuff. Look, we're going to go to a break a little bit quicker than we would like because I know we want to discuss that game, but we got to get round 4 rolling, all right? We're a little bit behind schedule because of how epic that match was, so do stay with us when we come back. It's going to be round 4, the final round of the Swiss stage, when we return.